Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore, continuing our Salvation Ends, and this time we get to get it with Best Boy Cyan. Okay, the Cyan Salvation End title is The First Love as a Human, and listen, he learned to love us, like in the tragic end where we died, and then he just downloaded us into his brain. So I have high hopes for this, especially after Lucas's just tragedy. So, anyway, we say, I look up to you, and now we're going to skip until we, get something new. I'm going to clear this. Okay. My stupid tablet decided it needed to update right fucking now. So, thank God I have my phone, and I can just pop open the guide and go, okay, this is the choice we need to make, and the only choice we need to make. So, I'm like, seriously? Seriously, tablet? Fuck you. I hate that. Anyway. Oh, I can't wait. All right, we're fighting Bordeaux. Great. We're going to almost end up dead. Oh, right, because Lucas is going to stab us like he did the last time. You know. Well, okay, we're going to fight him for a while, but we'll eventually be in the lab and he's going to stab us because we fell in love with Cyan. Listen, sometimes you just have to accept life as a sandwich maker or sandwich dispenser. And if it's for Cyan, I'm here for it. And all I'm saying is this game better turn it out, because after Lucas's ending, that was really unfair. Poor Lucas. I think he deserved better. I mean, I know that he was like a stabby murderer, but still, he was kind of brainwashed and whatever. Oh, right, isn't this where Adolphe loses his head? Is this the one? No. Was this one? I thought that was earlier. No, that wasn't a bad end. Which one was that in? No, it was this one. It was that one. It was right there. We went into, and then he lost his head, and now we're all having these. Right. Adolphe is just okay. Right. In case you wanted to relive that, you're welcome. But we got to see shirtless Cyan, so makes up for it, I guess. All right, we have the beautiful hug moment. Where he's like, what? So, yeah. They did do a weird thing with Cyan and Eve's hair where it's like, okay, yeah, it's almost jellyfish-esque. Kind of got the weirdness where it's like, you take it down and you got 6 tendrils and it's like, it's not quite a mullet, but it's not quite a jellyfish. It's like a weird thing and you're like, just keep it up. Keep it up in the weird little, not quite a rat tail that you got going on, because when you wear it down, it just looks ridiculous. See, you know what I mean? It's very jellyfishy, I guess. But when you pull it up, it's fine. Their hair looks fine. It's when you're wearing it down, it looks, some angles it looks okay. And other ones, not so much. But when they wear their hair down, it just kind of looks a little fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Especially because the way they do it on Science, when he's, front facing, right? It literally looks like, oh, I just have this long braid area, I braided it, and then I've got this long tendril that's just this chunk, just this one chunk, right? And it's that's an awkward choice, but sure, whatever. But then when you wear it to, I don't know, just don't take it down, just leave it up in the ponytail. When you take it down, it looks weird. Oh, right, kissed us before we got stabbed. Oh, here we are. I could tell a god was about to be born. I'm assuming we're still us, right? I think. Anyway. The security system unlocked, and the door I tried to block slammed open, blowing back the barricade. I moved back before the devices fell where I stood, but... Cyan! Oh, right. Cyan was in the tank doing something, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. He was in there being like, look, I'm going to test this memory thing, back myself, do the thing, give myself emotions. And then we got stabbed. He was trying to back us up, but didn't. So that's why right. He gave himself emotion. So, but then we died, and then he couldn't save us in time to get a full backup. He could only download our memory. So then he put us in his own brain because he couldn't do the backup because our body died before he could do the backup. That was the whole thing. Okay, right. I was just expecting the split off to happen like later, like when after Lucas stabs me, but like no, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, anyway. The person we were fighting found his way inside. Dalit was leading the Institute guards and the Royal Guard to stop us. But it was too late. Welcome, everyone. A new reliver has been born. Oh, right, that's true because Dalit kind of usurped control. Well, not on purpose, but was given control of the Institute, right? So yeah, I guess he's kind of like our nemesis right now, but like not really compared to the way he is in general. He ain't showing that side of him yet. I quietly moved aside, and behind me, you took a while, Dalit. Oh my god, look at the evil glint in his goddamn eyes. It's glorious. Seriously? I mean, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, look at the muscle definition that you drew on this motherfucker. You just really, really, really wanted to tempt us, didn't you? And it's beautiful. Again, the light work they do on these is gorgeous. And like, it's just, but it's so sinister. Instead of like, just like, oh, it's beautiful. You're like, it's beautiful. It's kind of dangerous. You're like, I am here for this. It's science, so like, you know, I think it was going to be easy to win me over. The new Scion Brofes was sitting boldly upon his research device as if it were a throne of wisdom. I can't fucking read. We know this. On the floor were several bodies that looked like Scion with their chests carved out. The current Scion's chest bore rushed incision marks and a heart pulsing underneath. Seeing him, Dalit's face suddenly went pale. Right? It's like, don't tell me. A new memory bank? Precisely. The memory enhancement that was impossible in your hands was applied to me only moments ago. That is so fucking kinda... He's like, yeah, you know how, you fucked up? Yeah, there you go. Hold on. Wait. Okay, sorry. My guide just popped back up, so I was like just getting everything situated. Not that we need it, but it's one of those things that like I won't remember to do it later, so. Anyway. And the process was rather simple. I removed the main memory components and transferred them to my new heart. If connecting hearts from multiple sources causes a bug, we simply need to create multiples of the same person. In other words, he created an artificial heart. But that only increases the memory while the person's emotions disappear. Oh, but I revived my emotions. What? I operated on increasing the memory after I downloaded my memories. In other words, the pain and suffering that the clone bodies experienced while they were alive were transferred to me. Impossible! Bearing the pain from all of them would kill you from shock. Right, so I took advantage of that shock. By inflicting pain during the operation, I forcefully revived the same emotions from my original body into my new body as a god. Call it shock therapy, if you will. No. Okay, don't do that, though. That's impossible! Not to me. I'm living proof of it. You know, part of me, if we had gotten the good ending before we found out who Dalit was, I might have been like, oh, don't be mean to poor Dalit, you know, whatever. But now I'm like, you know, rubbing it in his face and rubbing some salt in his wounds, you know, I'm okay with it. Don't get me wrong, I still love Dalit. He was a great character. Like, great. Still love him. Great villain. Because, like, I was with him the whole time. Like, you're my bat. Like, look at you. You're so good. Why would you stab me in the back like that? And it hurts a lot. And I don't know if I can forgive him for it, but, like, bravo to the game. I'm never going to get over it. It's, like, genius. All right? But, like, doesn't mean that, like, Scion rubbing salt in his wounds isn't a little fun, you know? Dalit looked at the results that he spent years in pursuit of, having been achieved in a short span of time. He fell to his knees. The god looked down at him. Now behold, Dalit, and this is what you and your team sought for years. I am the first reliver in this country to retain my emotions without fail. Despite being open to attack, Dalit and the soldiers didn't move. Rather, they couldn't. They knew simply by looking at his eyes that the person in front of them wasn't just a person calling himself a god anymore. The existence they beheld was trying to enter a new realm beyond that of mere mortals. Everything is clear in my mind. I feel like I can come to any truth right now. I finally gained the time I desired, along with the possibilities and emotions that I scoffed at before. But the research and experiments he conducted for his reliver technology wasn't in vain. Normal humans and early reliver models weren't able to survive the dissection process that I went through. I took a very roundabout way, but it feels good to finally see results. Cyan was able to bear the operation that he conducted on his own body, because of the pain and suffering he went through. Here, Cyan stood from the device and took the lab coat that I was holding for him. He spread the lab coat and put it on. He then looked at Dahut sitting on the floor, then at the soldiers and researchers looking on before taking a deep breath. And this is the last clone I'll make to escape from death. I have no need for a backup now. Oh, he looks so pissed. In 23 years, no, sooner, I will find the truth behind the curse of this country and save it before my maid dies. Until then, I'll white paper the memory-enhancing process so the emotions can be transferred for everyone. He spread his arms wide as a challenge to death. I'll not only get rid of the curse, I'll also find out why Spacey is called Death. The reason for that was twofold. He proclaimed with excitement an emotion he didn't have before, and his voice got louder. After all, I would be inconvenienced. My plan is to fall in love with Death and live with her until we die of old age. Plan to fall in love with her. You kind of already are, though. Well, okay. You kind of experienced the falling in love without knowing what the emotion was because you didn't have emotions. You were like, see, I did the steps, but like now I'm going to do them with the actual emotions attached. Okay. I also plan on having at least 2 children. Okay, I'm going to back it up, motherfucker. I never agreed to that. I hate that. Don't force that on me, game. Don't ruin his route for me. What? Cyan? Yeah, Listen. I hate that. 0 out of 10. Don't recommend this route now. I just hate it. I know that there are people, I saw someone on Twitter posting like, oh, something about like kids en route to pair, and then it's like, still kind of pissed at Hakuoki for fucking forcing like a baby on me in Harada's route and his ending. Spoiler, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, look, we have a baby. Fuck that shit. Listen, I get it, ye oldie-timey games, whatever, but I hate that. Don't force babies on me. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, oh, we'll be a family. Fine, that's fine. You can say we'll be a family, because you can be a family with just 2 people. But like, and like, okay, you imply but don't just, I don't like it. It makes me mad. I hate it. I don't like kids, and I don't want them forced on me in games. Listen, that's my thing. You know, some people are like, I don't like talking about assault or talking about certain things or like dating your brother or anything. Like some people are like, everybody has a line. Mine is children. Don't talk about it. That ruins it for me. So Cyan, put it away. Not happening. His proclamation changed into something I didn't expect at all. You can talk about falling in love with your sandwich maker, though. I'm fine with that. Cyan disregarded me as I went completely red and called out Dahut's name, who was looking on in shock. Which is why, Dahut, you're to side with me. That's how much value I see in you. Of course, he already made his move to end the conflict with the royal family. Dahut! What now? I'm a little busy here trying to follow all your moods. The researcher barged into the room as everyone stood confused by the situation. Beads of sweat were rolling down his face. The conversation here was being transmitted throughout the Institute. Everything's been thrown into chaos! Of course Cyan would do that. Because then Dahut can't, like, kill him and be like, well, actually, I created it. Nope. Everybody knows now. Well, what the? How dare you take control over the devices? I thought you guys were working for Dahut! No way is anyone going to defy them so blatantly when they know they'll be executed if they disobey! We became researchers because we looked up to Director Cyan's godly genius. We never betrayed him from the beginning. And most of the guards working here are on Director Cyan's side, too. What? Director Science said he's gonna work on transferring emotions, so you guys have no reason to fight now. Let's create miracles with the director. I'm sure we can now that he's in God's domain. But... Dalit stood immediately, knowing that the tables had turned. It's funny, though, I find this interesting because throughout the route... I see, Gio. Throughout the route, Dalit was like, look, there's nothing I can do, like, sorry, Cyan, whatevs, and he was going to use it to his advantage, but it didn't seem like they were painting him as somebody who was trying to overthrow Cyan. You know what I mean? He was like, I can't go against the royal family, and now we know, obviously, it was also helping him get his way and his goals, okay? Not just to revive his mother, but, like, everything else. But it was like, I can't go against them, sorry, Cyan, hope you make it out. And, like, he seemed like he was still not on Cyan's side, necessarily, but, like, hey, I know Cyan didn't do all this and everything, but, like, I can't go against the royal family. That's not going to do me any good. I'm going to be selfish and become the director and work on what I want to work on. So it worked out for me. So good luck with that, Cyan. Whatevs. And he selfishly did so, but it didn't seem like he would be the one who's like, damn it, Cyan. Oh, fuck. Like, he'd be like, oh, okay. Cool. I wasn't really at odds with you. I mean, aside from I wanted to work on emotion stuff, and if you're going to work, cool, I guess. You know what I mean? You seem like he'd be more like he'd go along with it and be like, oh, all right, cool, because I really didn't want to fight with you, you know what I mean? But, like, I had no choice. The royal family was like, whatevs, you know? As opposed to, like, now angry, and no, I'm gonna, like, I don't know. I feel like they're, where we are right now with how Dalit's reacting, I'm not really sure which way they're gonna go here, and it's like, if they go the route of him being like, foiled, no, I hate you, Cyan, it's like, that didn't seem like at all what was happening in the route at all. So it seems like a wild fucking left swing. You know what I mean? Anyway. Don't tell me! A new memory bank? Precisely. The memory enhancement that was impossible in your hands was applied to me only moments ago. We didn't... Never mind. I was going to say, we didn't really need that flashback. It just happened, but we did get to flashback on that CG, so, like, I'll allow it. That device you were sitting on, you used it to transmit what you said here throughout the Institute, didn't you? Precisely. I only did what was done to me. Anyway, it's not like it was transmitted across the country. Regardless, my objective is complete. Dalit, you know what this means, right? As if summoned by the transmission, the two royals came running into the room. Dalit, what are you doing? He's merely speaking of his own impossible fantasies. What he just did is what Dalit wanted, though. He's right. A change of heart won't atone for the crimes he's committed. Hurry and arrest him while... He shouted angrily as spit flew from his mouth. Yep, got it. Huh? My apologies to the royal family. I'll be siding with Cyan. Okay, see, this is what I would have expected. I've been like, what the fuck? Oh. Cool! Alright, bro, huh? You know what I mean? Because Cyan is doing what Dalit wanted to do. I'm sure Dalit feels a little slapped in the face that Cyan did it first and instantaneously, and Dalit's been working on it for a while, but he's gonna get what he wants. And knowing Dalit's secret, this works out for him. If you do anything to harm our director Cyan while inside the Institute, we'll have you kicked out immediately. He bowed gracefully as a fearless smile appeared on his face, much like Cyan's. With Dalit's proclamation, the guards who arrived quickly drew their weapons and pointed them at the royal family. The other researchers were probably in agreement as they quietly moved behind Dalit and Cyan to show their obedience. Dalit! I was overjoyed at the return of our friend. Me too! Right here! Let's just forget all the other shit he did. Let's just stay here in this one. Except for Adolphe's dead. But, like, that kind of sucks. But, like, we have Anko, who's Adolphe 2.0, the enhanced version, so that sort of count. Kind of like two different people. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to resurrect people from the dead just based on their genes, because that's what Dahut wants to do for his mom, who's not really dead. We'll figure that one out. But then we'll bring Adelphi back. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can work with this. Shh. It's okay. Besides, Cyan's not dead, so that's what really matters here. And Dahut's our friend again. We'll fix Nadia. It'll be okay. What? You're going to betray us? Was it not you who betrayed Cyan first? And I love that you're going to betray us. And we're like, asterisk. I mean, that was his goal all along, so yeah. Now listen up. Cyan was able to achieve results in the field we worked on for years. I doubt we can put its current form into practice on anyone but Cyan. If we can push the technology further, we might all one day become real humans who can retain our emotions. If so, it's only obvious that I would side with Cyan. After all, it's the best shot we have at making our dreams into reality. I also find Cyan's proposal much more lucrative than the royal family's interest in seizing power over the country. Which is funny because the royal family has power over the country, but it's not good enough for them? Dumbasses. Besides, there's a good chance Cyan might really uncover the truth behind the curse. No reason to get in his way, right? Cyan nodded in satisfaction after seeing Dahut act like him, then walked over to greet him. Dahut, come with me. You have what it takes to join me in my domain. He didn't offer his hand to bring him back as a subordinate or a friend, but instead as a rival. I'm honored to receive an invitation from someone who calls himself a god. He showed a bit of hesitation, perhaps because he felt bad for turning his back on Cyan for a while. Okay. Again, just in this, I can't blame Dahut for that. For doing a little selfish thing, but also he didn't have much of a choice. Like, was he going to give up everything to chase down Cyan? Like, no. He took the advantage and went, there's nothing I can do for Cyan. If I go against the royal family, they'll have me beheaded, just like they're trying to do to Cyan, basically. And I can achieve my goals now that Cyan's not here, so... yeah. He did a selfish thing, but he didn't really... I mean, he turned his back on Cyan, sure, but, like, you can't really be mad at him for it. It's a very human thing to have done, instead of, like, what you're used to seeing in movies and, like, young adult novels and everything of, like, no, I will forsake everything for you, my friend. Well, fuck that shit. I'm not going to jail for you, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm not going to risk being beheaded because you're a crazy person who pissed off the royal family. Whoa. I love you, but not that much. You know what I mean? But Dahut looked at his hands for a moment, then shook his head and grabbed hold of Cyan's hand. This is outrageous! I'll not allow such a farce to take place! How will you take responsibility if you worsen the curse of death? The royal family cannot overlook this! Someone kill this motherfucker. You two want to be beheaded? Or do you two? Huh! Like I care! Cyan let go of Dahut's hand and shrugged. It's the royal family who'll be in a predicament without the researchers here. You'll never be able to revive as a reliver again. The curse of death will consume you in a few years. Kill us if you like. Along with Cyan and Dahut, there were no other researchers to act as their puppets. The royal family members gritted their teeth at Cyan's provocation, only returning a glare. Very good. I'll make sure things will proceed smoothly, so long as you cooperate. And then again, you will first need to pay for what you've done. Ugh! Cyan's powerful kicks landed on each of their stomachs. Two were blown back and landed on the floor, unable to speak from the pain. I love the fact that Cyan just literally kicked the shit out of the royal family and is like, no fucks given. God, he's hot. You better not harm the people ever again. Link back to your palace if you wish to survive. Understood? Cyan, you're so hot right now. Girl, don't try to know. You're so hot right now. You probably said that in reference to Adolphe and the children who died at the orphanage. Right, I forgot they killed all the kids, too. Oh, that was this one. Poor girl B. Oh, even Milo. He was a little asshole, but still. He would never let such a thing happen again. Cyan made a very clear statement. Thank you very much. Cyan smiled silently, hearing me give my thanks with a shaking voice. I'd better let the other royals know, but at least we're done here. Could that be Eve? I quickly took out the transmitter that was given to me. Wait, what? There must have been a sound that I didn't hear. Anyway. Is that you, Eve? Are you alright?
Yeah, sorta. Hugo got hurt, but it's nothing critical.
Oh, thank goodness.
I heard the broadcast, but is it safe to assume everything went as planned?
Yes, of course. Cyan was able to make his experiment a reality. Are you two able to move? If not, I can go there. I already called Mathis for help, so we're good. You just focus on what's in front of you. I'm sure there are still things to do. Yeah, Cyan. I'm gonna do Cyan right now. Right here in this lab. Everybody get out. Unless you want to watch, I don't care. Actually, get out. I don't want you watching, it's weird.
Oh. Hand it over.
Cyan took the transmitter from my hand.
Karun, well done. Without you two, this operation would have failed.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we can, but we're just surprised since we never expected you, of all people, to thank us, Cyan.
I knew when there was a ... and they're like... We're looking at each other. Did Cyan just thank us? The fuck?
What exactly is your impression of me? Fine, this call is over. Now then, those two seem safe, so I can focus on finishing this up. Let's go, Dahut, Spacey.
Okay. We left the laboratory, leaving behind the two silent royals and their guards. Do you want me to pet you or do you want to bite me? Pick one. He's being a jerk face. Why are you so fucking cute? You're so fucking cute. I just want to squeeze you. I do. I want to take you in my hands and I just want to squeeze. I just want to squeeze you so hard because you're so fluffy and adorable, but that would be mean and that would hurt you. And I would never do that, but I want to. It's cute aggression. I just want to grab you and squeeze you so freaking hard. It's because you're so cute. It's called cute aggression. It's a thing. Look it up. He's like, I don't know how to fucking read a dictionary or look things up. You gotta learn how to use the Google. You gotta learn how to do these things so you could get a job. You need a job. You need to start making money, earning your keep, pig. Anyway. I'm being forced to pet the bird. But then he bites. Because he's got pin feathers and they hurt, but he won't let me get them, so. He's like, pet me! Ow! Pet me! Ow! Like, Jesus. Cyan led us outside of the institute. I'm sorry, I was trying to pet you. I didn't mean to, like, accidentally smack you in the eye. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. You moved. There, a crowd of citizens who had heard the commotion were waiting. Hey, isn't that... It's Cyan Brophies! What is he doing here? I didn't know anybody knew what he looked like. Maybe they caught him, which means they're gonna start the execution? If they heard the fucking...
What a pain. Dahut.
Yeah, leave it to me. Dahut brought out a device that fit in his hand, then stepped forward. He took a deep breath and with a loud and clear voice began explaining Cyan's innocence. Didn't we just say they heard the broadcast? Okay, stop it. Who had heard the commotion. Oh, commotion at the broadcast. Okay, so I guess that's anyway. He said the royal family's greed led them to pinning the blame on Cyan. Of course, he also explained that there was now hope for a new type of reliver. So it was the royal family's fault? I don't believe it! They tricked us! The crowd suddenly began to voice their discontent with the royal family. Salome's in the background, lying her hands together.
Look at that. How refreshing to see the public opinion shift so easily.
Oh, come on now. It just makes it even more fun to control them. I'm just glad the air's been cleared. You won't have to worry about having... Don't be fooled! Do not listen to them! The royals who were kicked by Cyan suddenly appeared on the scene. Oh my god, still? One of them was wobbling and holding his stomach, probably still in pain. He's right, they're trying to take power away from the royal family. We must kill them now, or they'll use reliver technology to threaten you common folk. Their last resort yelling didn't reach the masses, since they couldn't be heard without a tool to amplify their voices. Their efforts were in vain, as everyone stared at the pathetic attempt with cold eyes. Oh, mob! Oh, mob and lynch 'em! Do it! At this very moment, a revolution had occurred, removing the royal family's power over Arpershell. I was sure the king and the remaining royals at the castle were shaking with anger. Should be fear. So what should we do, Cyan?
Leave them be. I doubt anything will happen, since it's obvious who's at fault in the public eye.
I suppose. I doubt they'll be able to fight. The guards might appear soon and take care of... I noticed in the corner of my eye a certain person within the crowd. Mother? I stepped forward to look more closely. Oh, she's got an arrow. The figure of the person who I thought I saw was no longer there. Maybe I was mistaken. Or maybe she came because she was worried. Still, something isn't quite right. Arrows. Why did Mother hide from me? She didn't have to do that if she came to see whether we were okay. Feeling something ominous, I quickly headed into the crowd to search, but to no avail. You trying to hold my hand? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you holding my hand or not? Where did she go? Like I had my finger out because he keeps inching toward my hand. So I'm like, okay, are you trying to get pet? Or like, but then he keeps putting his foot up on my finger, and then he'll like take his foot off, and then he puts his foot on, and then he takes his foot off. It's like, fuck. God damn it, Bird, make up your mind. She could be anywhere. What was Mother trying to? You swine! A shower of blood rained onto the ground. The blood was coming from one of the royals, obviously. Oh! There was a knife stabbed into the belly of the royal named Oh, I have no idea how to say Revopois. Oh, I don't know how to do it with the accents over the oh. Anyway, the one dude, not Dominique. No, don't say no. Just be like, oh, girl. Mother pulled out the knife from the man's stomach as we looked on in horror. He fell into his own pool of blood like a puppet with its strings cut. Is Dahut gonna find out she's his mom? Because this could fix everything. Ah! Crowd dispersed, seeing the killer take the life of a royal with her own hands. What? What in the world are you doing? Assuming she would harm the public, Dahut stood in front to try and stop her. That's true. She doesn't know, and he doesn't. Oh my god. No, Dahut! Don't kill Dahut. Oh my god, don't you dare, Salome. Besides, isn't the new director a complete puppet of the royal family? He didn't stop the attack on the orphanage. Will such a person honestly return to work under you again? Oh no. You're all underestimating human greed, which is why I suggest that you kill the new director along with the royal family. Oh no. I feel bad for her and Dahut not knowing who, they don't know who the other person is, but also, like, Dahut's okay in this one, so I don't want him to die. He didn't know that Mother was determined to kill him along with the rest of the royal family. I quickly moved in unison with Cyan, but we didn't make it in time. Out of my way! His stomach was pierced deep with the knife. Dahut! Blood poured out of his body as he fell to the ground and convulsed. No! He's back up! I yelled at the researchers who were listening to the speech by him earlier. They all shook their heads. I could read their lips, which said, the two deleted his data in retaliation. I instinctively turned and glared at the remaining royal, Dominique Revopois. But before I could make my move, she moved in front of him with her bloody knife in hand. Ah! Sensing his life was in danger, Dominique Revopois left the body on the ground and ran screaming into the Institute. Shh! Of all things! We were the only ones moving in the open area and now turned into a sea of blood. Cyan moved in to try and restrain Mother, but she quickly avoided him as if she knew he was coming and... Mother, please stop! With perfect timing. Ah! She restrained me with a fake hug. Mother grabbed hold of me from the front, then turned around. She quickly moved behind me and pointed her knife to my neck as we faced Cyan. Okay, well, you know what? What the fuck? Just as expected. You're the perfect hostage. Cyan looked at Mother, who was chuckling behind me without trying to provoke her.
Have you lost your mind, taking your own daughter hostage?
What are you talking about? I'm quite sane. I understand more than anyone what needs to be done.
Killing the entire royal family.
Exactly. What you've accomplished is wonderful. I'm sure it'll be written in history books as a glorious achievement. Here's the thing. She stabbed Dahut in the stomach. Okay. We sliced open fucking Lucas's jugular. I know he's superhuman, but he lived for like fucking hours afterward. Daha got stabbed in the stomach. It's gonna hurt. He did not die instantly. Okay? What the fuck? So, like, grab him and back him the fuck up now while you can. I'm just saying. If we got stabbed by Lucas and and like, Cyan had enough time to back up my brain, but not my body, they have enough time to maybe at least make a Hail Mary pass and try to back up Daha instead of just being like, oh, well, died instantly. He's not dead instantly. He's suffering right now. He's not like, anyway. Did I read this? I have no idea. Exactly. What you've accomplished is wonderful. I'm sure it'll be written in history books as a glorious achievement. But that isn't enough. Mother's face next to me showed more and more hatred. The people won't see true salvation until the pus of this country, the royal family, has been destroyed. It needs to be done. My child Liam, my other children, and Adolphe won't rest in peace otherwise. If you want to save her, execute the entire royal family immediately. That will finally make our wishes come true. And see, if Daha wasn't dead, he'd be like, what? Her last words were like a plea. Mother, why? No matter how trapped she was in hatred. But see, she remembers his name. At first, I was thinking of using you both for my own sake, but you both became so dear and irreplaceable to me. You two made me remember the happy days I spent with my child, which is why I didn't want to give you up to become test subjects. That's about all I can say now. I thought she'd never lose her way as a mother. My question pitted to Mother was instead answered by Cyan.
Her memories affecting her emotions. Similar to me, she doesn't notice her objective and methods have changed places.
Which was why she made such a drastic move. Cyan was unable to move closer with me as a shield.
Salome, your mission was to get rid of the curse from this country. When did that change to killing the royal family?
It doesn't matter now! I'm doing what needs to be done! Unlike you, refusing to look at the future! That's right! I need to kill the royal family! Kill! 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 No. Like a broken transmitter, a sound unlike a human came from her mouth. Mother, please get a hold of yourself! Any more in your memory!
She's finally lost it completely. A guard, aim for her shoulder! Don't miss!
I froze in place, not moving a muscle, just like when he yelled at me to not move when I was held hostage. The next moment, Cyan's guard, who came to his side, let loose his arrow. The arrow grazed my cheek, and then... The arrow struck Mother in the shoulder. I used the opportunity to escape her hold by purposely falling forward to the ground. The knife dropped from her hand, and the guards, who all came to the scene, ran in and pinned Mother to the ground. She couldn't move with her arms held behind her back, but... Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! The royal family needs to die! Kill! They need to be punished! No! Ah! That was fun. Mother struggled with all her might, as if she didn't mind losing her limbs if it meant she could kill her detested targets. Blood was pouring from her cuts, but she didn't look like she was in pain. All I'm saying is she's got all these cuts, wounds, and she's fine, but Dah had died from a single stab to the stomach. In the corner of my eye, I could see some researchers hurriedly carrying Dahut away to safety.
Are you all right, Spacey?
Cyan ran toward me and embraced me from behind as I sat on the ground. I'm fine, but Mother... Cyan, what's happening to Mother?
Simply put, her memory bank is burning from an overload of emotions. Either she dies or she needs to revive as a reliver with the updated memory bank.
What? Cyan was able to modify memory. That also meant that she would have to bear the pain that the clone bodies endured during the revival process. But was there a way for Mother to bear such pain as a normal person? Cyan... I looked at his large hand placed on my shoulder in support. Isn't there a way Mother can be saved? I placed my hand on his hand in desperation. No. I don't want to lose any more of my family. Unlike some stories, pleading for her to regain her senses wouldn't bring Mother back. So the only thing I could do now was, please help me. I asked my beloved for help to save me from impending despair.
That's.
She doesn't need to be saved! The man appeared again to outright refute my plea for help. Dominique Revepois, who had fled earlier, returned with some Royal Guard soldiers. He yelled at the top of his lungs as he looked down in disgust at Mother. I don't care whether her children were killed. She is obviously defective if she can perpetrate such a terrifying crime. She's already lost her mind anyway. Why don't you use one of the bodies of her children she said she lost and make a clone? She can't tell the difference now anyway, so that should keep her quiet for us to... How dare he? How dare he look down on my family like this? Silence! Before I could put my anger into words, Cyan's ruthless voice filled the air. Ever so clearly. His low voice sent a wave of silence over the entire area. Cyan slowly helped me stand from the ground.
I see. So this is what rage feels like. It doesn't feel bad to have another reason to help someone.
His first contact with his emotion was focused on that man. He then rubbed my cheek with care.
I'll take back what I said before. I won't sacrifice others for my own good, but I will gladly offer a scapegoat.
Cyan?
I've been researching for myself all this time, but I will use this opportunity to do so to save someone else. I do owe this woman, Salome, for protecting Spacey from people like me.
He then looked at me and smiled. That's true, because if Mom gave us to Cyan as a lab rat, we wouldn't have turned into a sandwich dispenser and he wouldn't have fallen in love with us, and we wouldn't be here. So, good for her.
Spacey, your wish will be granted. I will revive Salome into a reliver with an updated memory bank. I'm sure it'll easily be able to contain her insanity with no issue.
The thing is, you could just bring her back as a well, that's true. If you tried to back her up now, it would be crazy. But you could bring whatever her last backup was, you could bring that one back and be like, all right, so for now, we're just going to keep an eye on you until we can, and you can withstand the pain. Because, like, the process Cyan went through is like, yeah, this is agonizing and awful and no one's going to live through this. So we got to refine the process over the next so many years so that it's tolerable for most people to be able to go through and use this. So it's not like, hey, I found the technology and it's awesome. Let's put it into use tomorrow. It's too much pain and agony and people will literally implode going through it. So that's his point. We can't do it to Salome right now because she'll die. So, but it also means that Mother has to bear that pain and suffering. Dodd even said that you're the only one who could bear such pain. This.
True. But if I have someone else bear that pain instead before transferring Salome into a clone with the updated heart, there's a good chance she'll regain her sanity, albeit with a few bugs at the start.
Someone? I love where this is going. I'm gonna use that fucker! Woo! Is that really possible to transfer someone else's heart?
Of course it's impossible. There's no way to transfer a heart from one person to another. And that's it.
His pupils contracted, losing the warmth he showed me, and he turned his attention toward a certain man. Cyan gently caressed my hair, then slowly moved away from me. Girl, just let him be an evil scientist right now. One step. Another.
You should be a suitable match.
He walked toward the royal with heavy footsteps as if to instill fear in him, because Cyan knows who she is. He doesn't know who Dahud is, but he knows who Salome is. What do you mean? What are you trying to do? I thought about what he was trying to imply, but before I finally realized his intentions...
Congratulations! You'll be the last test subject to serve this country.
Cyan extended his hand to the man with total opposite of heat. Frigid cold. Stop! And genetically matched because you're family. Ah! Beautiful. Love it. We're missing a CG for him. Oh, we'll probably get it here.
So, you finally let everything be known. Still, I can't believe that man was able to reach that conclusion without exploiting her for his benefit.
I mean, again, I understand why Anko hates Cyan because he was experimented on by Cyan. And he was like, no, 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 he's going to experiment. He fell in love with her and didn't experiment on her. I know, right? Listen, Adolphe, all you had to be was a beautiful woman with apparently a magic vagina that no one's ever had sex with. It's not like she's throwing it out, but just, listen. Unbelievable. Did I actually misread his intentions? No, you just didn't give him sandwiches. Saying. Like, all you had to do was feed him sandwiches, so he didn't have to scrounge for bread on the floor. And this feels strange, but I suppose I have to accept the results, since this is the path she chose. Now, I suppose I should cooperate and help cure her for a brighter future. Thanks, I appreciate that. See, I gotta be honest, Adolphe Oncolfe, that's why you're in a way the best, because we choose someone else and you're like, you know, I love you so much. I'm just going to make sure that you're cured and you're a normal girl and you live happily ever after, even if you're with someone else, kiddo. Okay, peace out. And is not like bitter or angry. He's just like, I'm just happy you're happy. And you're like, that's beautiful. Like, because most of us would be like, it hurts so much and I want to stab Cyan. You know, like Lucas killed me for loving Cyan. Maybe that was one of the bad endings. I thought it was in the main tragic ending, but whatever. I ended up getting stabbed or ended dying. We know that, but a few months passed. Salome awoke inside the darkness of the incubator. The fluid around her slowly drained away until it was empty. The incubator door opened and she slowly stepped out. The room's white light made her eyes throb.
Salome, how do you feel?
Salome squinted her eyes to see a young man wearing a lab coat, talking to her as if nothing was out of the ordinary. How do I feel? I feel like vomiting. What am I doing here?
You were revived as a reliver. Your old body was at its limit.
What? I don't understand. And there are memories flowing into my mind. My chest is throbbing and I feel heavy. Salome held her head, thinking it must be coming from maintaining heightened emotions for a prolonged time.
Your condition is expected. You should get used to your body soon. Contact me if you still experience any problems. Now, any thoughts about the royal family?
Salome froze for a moment, realizing that he was asking if she still wanted to kill them. Her eyes shook for a moment. She then shook her head. If anything, I feel sad right now. I'm sad about the tragedy they caused and the sins I've committed. I killed people, and not just from the royal family. I killed an innocent researcher, too. The reality she killed him due to her heightened emotions was weighing on her.
You mean Dahut? I can't tell you not to worry. He died before he could fulfill his mission.
As Salome predicted, Dahut couldn't be saved. Oof. His stab wound was too deep, son of a fucking bitch. This could have been a happy ending for them. Cyan returned to his usual self and looked like a doctor as he tapped an old medical record on his shoulder.
Your mental state's still a bit unstable, but I suppose that can't be helped, considering what happened. Congratulations, Salome. The final check is now complete. You're free to live life as you please.
What? There's no way I could live life like a normal person without paying for my crimes.
Unfortunately, there's no way you can be punished since there's no legal process to deliver judgment. And so it's up to you to determine how you want to pay for what you've done.
Salome could only look down, hearing Cyan's words. We don't have a legal system here? A little more baffling than us not knowing what a puzzle is. Salome was released from the facility and she began to roam the district of Canan. But Salome didn't have any destination in mind. Before long, she ended up at the home she had spent her life protecting. She thought about Dahut, the researcher she killed, without looking at his face. She then thought about the children who were mercilessly killed, leading her naturally to this location. But there was no one here. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I'm sorry. Perhaps some time had passed, as the orphanage didn't show a shadow of the tragedy that struck. There was no trace of the blood splattered along the walls and the ground, and neither was there a trace of the children. It was as if the tragedy never happened. Who's saying, "Welcome home, mother"? She felt a childlike warmth behind her. Milo? Milo? She wasn't seeing things. It was one of her dear children whom she took into her care. He was in his rebellious stage, but now tears filled his eyes as he hugged her sweetly from behind. But how? Just as Salome showed an expression of surprise, other children appeared and gathered around Salome. Weren't they all killed? Did we put her in a weird temporal reality? Salome stood in confusion as each of the children hugged her as if they were waiting for her love. Welcome home, Mother. From behind the children came Spacey with a joyful smile. Spacey, how? What happened? The Corps risked their lives to somehow save some of the children when the Royal Guard attacked. It seems they were later hidden by one of our neighbors in the district. Spacey went on to explain with tears in her eyes that she only found out recently that some had made it out alive. Okay, good, some of them didn't die. Maybe Girl B is there. I see. Mother, we've been waiting for you to come home. We made graves for the children in the back garden. Adolphe is also at home with us. The last phrase made tears flow out of Salome's eyes. She didn't lose everything. She still had many dear children here to welcome her home. Salome fell to her knees and embraced the children she could hold as she wept like a child. I'm so sorry. Tracy walked toward her and embraced her gently. Please don't apologize. We're waiting for you to say what we want to hear. You're right. I made another mistake. Spacey, Milo, everyone. I know I'm not the best mother. Will you be my family again?
Of course!
Children all responded with a smile at their tearful mother. Okay, little douchebag Milo. Milo was an asshole, but at least he made it out alive. Good for him. You know, I'm just going to have faith that Girl B is there too, okay? Arpachel had changed quite a bit since then. Cyan regained all rights and authority over the Institute. Thereafter, it was officially announced that research into lifting the curse would begin in earnest, and it did. They would also embark on an investigation into the origin of the underground passage. Stolen devices seemed to be transported through the passageway, which led to other locations besides the beach. I recalled Cyan mentioning that the culprit behind the stolen devices should be found soon enough, as he rubbed his sleepy eyes. Well, I'm pretty sure that was Dahud, and he's dead, so. Eve and Hugo recovered from their injuries and were now living in relative peace while working at Caroon, and tending to their garden and just enjoying their adorable little cot. Listen. Routes, we're not in love with Eve. He may not understand that he's in a gay relationship with Hugo, but he absolutely is. Mathis, who saw Eve as a role model, seemed to be visiting him every so often with Jean. More importantly, this country was starting to change with Cyan Brothys at the center. The people who saw and learned of the royal family's evil had finally revolted. The monarchy over the land was abolished. A parliamentary system took its place, and Cyan was chosen as a representative. I like how they're always just putting him there, and he's like, I don't... Fuck. Of course, he didn't seem very happy, saying he'd find someone to replace him so he could focus on his work. The plan was to create a legal system using books that drifted here from other countries, and with the help of Mathis Claude. It seemed he wanted to make sure that power wouldn't be in the hands of a single person, and that the cause of the strange deaths would be made public as soon as the evidence hidden by the royals could be recovered. As for me, through the tumultuous change, wow, I thought it was like though, I missed the R in there. Through.
Spacey, let's buy some flowers.
Okay, understood. I'd become something a bit more special than his personal maid and was living a peaceful life with Cyan. Today we were out together, just the two of us. It had been a week since Mother returned, and it looked like she was getting accustomed to her new body, which was why we stepped out to go and visit Dahut's grave.
I'm not sure what kind of flowers he likes. I wouldn't know any better since I've never purchased memorial flowers before.
You don't need to worry too much. Just listen to your heart and pick the flowers based on what colors Dahut liked or what would match him. It's all right to buy flowers based on your feelings.
That doesn't help much. I've never had a casual conversation with him about what he likes. That said, he was always noisy and a bit of a troublemaker. If anything, I suppose he would have liked flowers with lively colors, such as red or yellow.
That sounds just like him. Well, why don't we have a bouquet made around those colors? With that, I called out to the florist standing in the front of his shop. The combination of the country's top researcher and the Maiden of Death from Canan made us very noticeable. The florist noticed who we were, but he simply smiled and greeted us as customers. After purchasing a beautifully arranged bouquet, Cyan and I made our way to the cemetery. Here's the thing. Like this, with the, just pick what colors he likes. You don't need to know what he likes. It's about the feeling. So when you pick a bouquet, it's the thought that counts. So I'm just going to say, if you're a ghost and somebody's visiting you and leaving flowers and you're like, carnations? I don't like carnations, asshole. Then you're a jerk of a ghost. Okay? I'm just saying. You'd be like, "Aw, thanks for thinking about me. That's sweet of you." That's the right way to be a ghost. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what you pick. Dahut will be like, "Nah, thanks, man. It's cool of you to visit. We appreciate the effort." Okay? Otherwise, you're a dick of a ghost. Don't be a dick of a ghost. All right? The only time you're allowed to be an asshole when you're a ghost is when you're trying to haunt people and rattling your chains. Then that's okay. Okay? But when someone's visiting your grave, that's when you're nice. Okay? There are rules to being a ghost. Spacey's Guide to Being Dead. Okay? Because apparently Victorian ghost is part of my personality. It's like I like how I've realized that my fashion style is it's eclectic Victorian circus magician ghost. Figure out a combination of those words, but that's basically it. The eclectic covers all the things that aren't Victorian ghost / circus magician. So, Victorian circus magician ghost, circus magician Victorian ghost, something like that. And then the eclectic is all the random weird things that doesn't fit into the circus magician / Victorian ghost thing. So basically whatever the fuck I want, but, I'm okay with the Victorian ghost thing. I'm just saying, so I know how to be a Victorian ghost, all right? Just be polite when someone leaves you flowers. It's nice. They thought of you. What else? Anyway, after purchasing a beautifully arranged bouquet, Cyan and I made our way to the cemetery. It feels so strange not being called Death for so long. I guess it's because Cyan announced to the public that he'd clear my name once everything settled down. It felt like only yesterday when he said that in public, which made me blush again. Now that doesn't mean that what was lost back then will return. My sin of involving the orphanage was one that I would need to bear for the rest of my life. And I would be bearing that with Cyan by my side as I came to terms with the deaths. For no real reason, I looked up and saw Cyan staring at my face from the side. Cyan? Is there something on my face? Please stare at me more.
No, it's nothing. I forgot to buy something. You head to the cemetery ahead of me.
Okay, I'll do that. Buy something for me? Aw. To think of it, he's been looking at me like this quite often recently. You're buying me a ring. Don't get my hopes up, game. I tilted my head in bewilderment. It was only a few minutes later that Cyan returned to me with a flower in hand and told me,
"I think this matches you well."
You bought me a flower! See, I don't even give a crap what it is. It's beautiful. We don't get a beautiful CG of that? Come on. We were done visiting the cemetery. I was back in my room at the orphanage with Cyan by my side. Oh, hi. We're alone in my room? Really? We're grown-ass adults, but Elliot's grave was very clean and beautiful. There were a lot of flowers placed there, too.
He was more popular than I was. I assume the other researchers came to pay their respects.
I see. I feel bad for Dahut. He didn't deserve to die like that. Thinking of Mother, I couldn't say much more beyond that. Well, yeah, especially if you ever figure out who the fuck he was. Jesus. The best Cyan and I could do for him now was...
But his research has been incorporated in a positive way. I will uncover the truth behind the curse in his place in a way to avenge his death.
Cyan... He wouldn't let his efforts go to waste. I was sure Cyan would keep his word. Break the curse of death before I died and create a country where everyone was free to be angry, mourn, and to love. We paused for a moment, then Cyan sat on my bed.
Now then, About my research, there's something I want to test.
What is it?
Come here.
Okay. Oh, please God. It's got to be a beautiful romantic-y kissy CG. Although we got more from him than anybody else. He patted the bed and I sat down beside him. Girl, there's kids and their mother around here. Suddenly, Cyan put his arm around my shoulder and pulled me close without a change in expression. My beloved looked at me with his unique multicolored eyes. I suddenly felt my heart race. Cyan, what is it?
I'm observing.
Observing? Observing what?
You, of course.
Our conversation wasn't making sense. But come to think of it, you were staring at my face when we were out shopping, too. Was that part of your research? Maybe he was trying to observe my physical traits as death.
No, you're mistaken. I was simply captivated by you.
Look at the adorable little fucking look on this goddamn beautiful bitch's face. Stop it. Oh my God, my hurt. Oh, my chest, it hurts. Huh? His words made my face hot. Oh, it makes my chest hurt. What are you? He stopped me from completing my question.
You've been smiling more often since the incidents have been resolved, and your smile is captivating.
His whisper was so sweet that it passed through my ear and began to melt my mind. I know. Can't breathe.
I've wanted to test my new body to see whether I really did gain emotions. But unfortunately, I don't have a sample on hand to reference. So I was observing you. I gazed at you and listened to my memories sing a tune.
So the reason you've been near me a lot...
Yes, it's something of a trial period. Through this, I learned one thing.
Oh my God. Oh! You did not just pin me to the bed, sir! Oh, fuck my life. I need a minute. I'm gonna need the rest of eternity. I can't breathe. Oh, dear God. Look at how beautiful he is. Oh, this slut. He really should have had a tramp stamp. But then we wouldn't have seen it, you know what I mean? Also, apparently I found out because I saw someone posted on Twitter from an art book that Hugo has his reliver mark on his back, like across his shoulders, like up in that area. So, like, we never got to see that. But then that just made me think of the tramp stamp. I'm like, well, that's the closest we got to a tramp stamp. You know what? It would probably be Eve if he came back as a reliver. He'd probably have the tramp stamp just because it makes no sense, but it'd be funny as shit. Anyway.
That I'm in love with you.
He so naturally pushed me down onto the bed and whispered in my ear again. Oh, God, I'm gonna die. Cyan brought my hand to his heart, which I could see under his collar.
See, you can tell, can't you?
Yes. His heart beat gently. The tune to which his heart beat was far from something cold. It was a beat that held color and warmth. This is strange. For some reason, my heart's screaming from feeling your heart's rhythm.
Very well. Then perhaps I'll make your heart beat even faster.
Oh, dear God, don't. I can't breathe, guys. I'm gonna die. I might cry of joy. Oh, this is gonna kill me. This was vastly different from when he put his lips on mine before. It was a kiss that seemed to seek out my existence. Cyan kept changing the angle of his kiss as if to steal the soul of the one called Death, Spacey. As he said, with each kiss, my heart screamed even louder. Jesus, mine stopped.
So this is how it feels to love someone. I admit it isn't bad. I feel myself bonding with you more strongly, and seeing your expression is quite intriguing.
I love when we get to teach the robots how to love, but for some reason this one is just the best. Listen, because the robots in all other games are capable of love, they just choose not to. You know what I mean? They're just stiff and awkward. Okay? They're just awkward little robots. Okay? But they have emotions. Cyan had none. He is 100% an actual fucking robot. And now he learned it. So there's just something that's so much more gratifying about this, and it hurts my heart. I can't. Oh, good for you, game. You made up for bitch fest that was Lucas's route. He whispered in a serious voice, and the temperature of my face rose even higher. Are you sure about this?
About what?
I mean, are you sure it's okay for you to have someone like me by your side? Girl, shut up and just take this man right now. Okay, but don't make me read it, though.
Incorrect. And there's no one more suitable than you.
He seemed sure of himself, but I was still hesitant about his decision.
The god of death is the only one worthy of standing by God's side. So don't worry about it. With all the memories I inherited from last time, I know for a fact that I love you.
I feel Cyan's chest beating to a different tune now. I love the fact that he is actually, like, you in the CG holding your hand to his heart. It's beautiful.
I always end up like this when I touch you. It's the same as when I see you smile and when you smile at me. You seem to appear in my mind even when you're not around.
Cyan,
need I say more? As I stated back then, I was able to fall in love with you.
This was indeed his confession of love. In this country and in this world, this godlike person was directing his beautiful emotions to me and only me. His boldness and honesty made the anxiety I felt inside disappear into a mist.
So, what about you?
Huh?
I could tell you loved me from your words and actions, which is why I said you would be my wife. But you haven't said anything to me directly. So tell me. I want to hear it from you.
As he spoke, there was a look of great expectation in Cyan's eyes. How could I deny his earnest request? I love you too, Cyan. There was no way I could tell him how embarrassed I was to say that. Cyan, you're not a nice person. And yet, I love you so very much. Your purity and impurity, your determination and desires, everything. I love Cyan Brofis more than anyone in the world.
Well done.
His confession turned into a vow.
I swear here and now, as God, I will unravel the secrets behind this country's curse and why you possess the power of death. But I will be a mere mortal and a man with his feet on the ground when I'm with you.
Ugh. I want to be like, stop kissing me, it hurts my heart, but don't stop, don't ever fucking stop. Is that seriously how it ends? Just like that? Just with that kiss? Because that is goddamn fucking perfect. Ah! Okay, we can never look at, this is it, there you go, we can't look at the other scene again, because as soon as you go into the CG list, this goes away. That was perfect. Okay, I mean, I get it. It's sad. Dahl had died, and unfortunately, Adolphe lost his head, and so not perfect. But like, I mean, just in my little fantasy world of like getting Cyan, like for Cyan and the it was everything I wanted it to be. I wanted it to hurt my heart, to just squeeze it and make me not be able to breathe in a good way. Yeah, some horrible things happen, but it's this game. Bad things are going to happen. You know what I mean? But, like, just looking at that little end moment and that just... Perfect. Goddamn. Ugh! And just look at the look on his face. It's so normal and human, and just there is a like, it's beautiful. I love it. Damn. It's just these two versions of it, right? Yeah, okay. But like, stop it. But this, look at his, I have nothing else to say because I'm just gonna fall on the floor. And like, I want to cry with joy. It was perfect. I love him so fucking much. Look, I love the robots. We know that. And again, perfect robot character. Because like, and again, somehow his route and him learning to love you is so much more gratifying than any other robot character. Because all the other robots, you know, are actual human beings. They're capable of love. They just kind of shut their emotions down and they're fighting internally with feelings and things like that. And Cyan is just like, yeah, no, literally does not fucking compute. And then he pops his emotion chip in and is like overwhelmed and like, wow, this is cool. And you're like, ah! Like, it's still great. Don't get me wrong. All the other robot characters that we've ever fallen in love with, but this just got a little bit extra. This got extra seasoning. It's got extra flavor. It's just, oh, I love it. Okay. Now we get to do Eve's route. I think what we'll do for the voice acting part, because that's going to be its own part, like we've started doing, we might like come back into, because I think, oh, you can't. I was hoping you could, I guess you can't do the, I was hoping you could replay scene. Because a lot of times in games you can replay the scene from the CGs. That's what I was hoping to do, because it would be better. You know what I mean? So, maybe we'll try to find the scene where everybody's in the common round and we're all hanging out at Adolphe's house and whatever, and we'll do that, because that would be kind of fun. You know what I mean? Because then everybody's there, everyone's talking, we'll have to go back through and do stuff, so. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But next time, tomorrow, will be Eve's ending, and we'll see. So far, I feel like the Salvation ends have been good. You know, except for Lucas. Like, that was rude. I don't see any other way you could have done it, though. You know what I mean? Because, like, he was going to die from the curse, but, like, I don't know. So, I feel bad for Lucas lovers. If he's your favorite, I feel really bad for you, because that sucked. But, like, the rest of these have been, like, actually good. Like, okay, everything is not perfect, but you and your love interest have a good end. That tiny little bubble you live in, with just you and your boyfriend, beautiful. The rest of it is iffy, but that's the way the real world works, right? Everything's iffy except for this tiny little bubble of love we live in. And this tiny little bubble of love we live in right now, am I loving this so fucking much? So, yeah. It's beautiful! If we forget that Dahud and Adolphe are dead. And all those poor orphans. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.